Goeiedag! Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And there's a report that's going out on WhatsApp, and I'm just covering it because if this is true, and look, this is not in a mainstream media paper, but there are lots of images which support what's been said. It's absolutely disgusting in the extreme. And it involves the Democratic Alliance, who are the official opposition in South Africa. Let me read you the story. Impoverished Afrikaner squatter camp near Mamre, Cape Town, invaded by a large police with sniffer dogs, which illegally raided their shacks and even allowed black civilians to search their cottages for rotten food, drugs, and people in cages. Okay, let me give you the background. 6th of March 2020, Mamre, that's M-A-M-R-E, near Melkbosstrand, Western Cape, South Africa. There is a tiny community trying to survive on literally nothing in a dusty collection of ramshackle shacks just outside Mamre, near Cape Town, in the Western Cape province of South Africa. This small religious community consists of many Afrikaner, elderly, frail people. We're talking about white people. But also young people with small children, all totally abandoned by the world. Here these people find what their families, the government, and we as a community have failed to give them. A roof over their heads, 3 meals a day, medical care, water, electricity, care, love, and a sense of belonging. They also hold daily church services. For many years now, this group has been voting for the Democratic Alliance opposition party in South Africa. And over the past 2 years, the community has asked the Democratic Alliance to try and obtain for them the basic services provided to all other non-white squatter families, namely water, sanitation, electricity, and social services. More than 15 million black people get many government benefits. However, the Afrikaners get nothing because they're white. For years, their needs have been ignored by that DA they voted for, the Democratic Alliance Party. However, last Friday, this small community was threatened by the surrounding black community with attacks and arson on their homes by a large mob who had attacked them before. A warning was sent to the police and to Mayor Dan Plato in Cape Town of this threat against this defenseless community. The warnings were issued by advocate Carlo Viljoen. His warnings were ignored by the police and the mayor. Then on the morning on the 5th of February 2020, the region's DA councillor, North Grosser, suddenly arrived with hordes of policemen with dogs, safety and health inspectors spinning their wheels in the dust and surrounding their camp. Huge was the surprise when the impoverished Afrikaners realized, however, that the DA councillor they had voted for wasn't there to rescue them. Her sole purpose was to raid their homes and persecute their community even more. Mrs. Nora Gross had no legal reason to do so, but she sent in the loudly barking police sniffer dogs without any kind of search warrant from any court of law, and without any consent from the dwellers, bust open their shacks to search for drugs, rotten food, and even cages where people were being locked up illegally. Really? In a religious Afrikaner community? These lies had been told to Mrs. Gross by the black community, which had attacked the Afrikaner settlement before and had also threatened to burn down their homes. And it goes on to say, and when the police couldn't find any drugs, rotten food, or impoverished people, Mrs. Gross invited the black community to search the shacks themselves. This is just absolutely disgusting. Private black citizens were ordered by Cape Town City Councillor to search the homes of these impoverished Afrikaners. When Mrs. Nora Gross was asked why she was allowing private people, the very same people who attacked this little community on Friday night, to shut up, and that they, referring to the Afrikaners, have no rights. Impoverished Afrikaners in Cape Town, like most such communities all across South Africa, are abandoned and forgotten by the ANC regime, major political parties, the mainstream media and general populace. Because of their insignificance, influence at the polls, and also that many laws made against them being allowed to work, they have become an embarrassment for politicians and city councillors such as Nora Gross, and their situation is downplayed by mainstream media outlets such as the liberal stereotype Cape Argus. You know, I can totally empathize with what's been said in this report. I have, over the last 18 months, been part of live streams where you've had these white squatter camps with groups which have been totally ostracized, not just by the ANC government, but by everyone. It is absolutely terrible. They are living in an absolute hell. They have been persecuted. You know what this reminds me of? This really does remind me of what happened during the Boer War, when the Afrikaner women and children and the sick were herded into these concentration camps and are literally left to die. Over 20,000 women and children died in these British concentration camps that were set up in South Africa. Now, what you've got happening right now in South Africa, right before your eyes, is a very similar scenario. The only difference is they aren't locked up behind big wire fences, but they've got black thugs coming into their community and totally victimizing them. This is absolutely disgusting. It is despicable that the rest of the world and the mainstream media look the other effing way, because the mainstream media, are the racists. They are the racists. They're only doing this because it's a white community. That's racism. The R word. Yes, I'm using it against the mainstream media. You guys are absolutely disgusting, shameful, despicable. You just do not do your job. You're a load of crap. You should go and disappear in the sewer. That's what the journalists should do in the mainstream media. They just are a complete... I'm having a rant. The mainstream media are just completely... They're disgusting. They're disgraceful. If you know a journalist who works for the mainstream media, you should just kick them off your friends list, because they are crap. They are living crap. They are part of the problem that's happening right now that we're talking about here in this video. They refuse to cover it because it does not fit their narrative. You know, these small Afrikaner communities have worked their butts off. We're talking about elderly people who've worked so hard to help create the South Africa that happened in 1994, and this is how they're being treated. It's ridiculous. It's appalling. It's about time the rest of the world, including Donald Trump, woke up. And I'm hoping that Jason Bartlett gets to meet Donald Trump, because if he does, I'm sure he will alert him to a few of the facts that the ANC government are just sweeping under the carpet, like the mainstream media. What a bunch of losers. Anyway, let me just finish off this article. I've had a bit of a rant. I'm sorry, guys, but this really hurts me when I hear this. These poor banished people have become a lost nation of wanderers, shadowy figures inside South Africa's 60 million strong black population with no rights or free services, like their non-white counterparts in non-white squatter camps, such as nearby Crossroads, are entitled to. To be an Afrikaner squatter in South Africa is to be an outcast with no human rights. Indeed, they have far less human rights than convicted criminals in Victor Verster or Pollsmoor prisons. Is this how the Democratic Alliance treats its voters? Well, the only people I know who work in the DA are complete and utter losers. Capital L. Yeah. And that includes their chief, the white lady, whose name is so forgettable, I'm not even going to mention it. And Steenkamp, oh, you are part of a party that is just absolutely rotten to the core, just like the ANC. Alright guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.